What's up, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to this POV review by Autobahn. My name is Max, and today you join me with another viewer's car. This is Chris, his Audi S4 B9 with a little twist. It has a turbo upgrade and a lot of other cool mods. So today I'm going to show you around it. Unfortunately, the weather has turned, it has turned so bad. It's suddenly super dark and soaking wet. So yeah, but Chris came all the way from the UK, as you can see, so we didn't really have the flexibility that we usually have. On the other hand, it's Quattro weather, right? It is winter, it is wet, it is Quattro time. So today I'm going to show you around it quickly because I don't want to get too wet. Then we'll take it for a drive towards the Autobahn, where we will do a small Autobahn blast-ish, because it's a bit too wet to do like proper speeds, but we'll do a couple pulls to 200 or something like that, and yeah, should be fun. So let's start with the spec. It is the way you should spec an S or RS4, if you ask me. So a nice dark blue combined with all the aluminium and chrome parts that make an S or RS so cool, in my opinion. Maybe that's just nostalgia because that's the way S and RS cars used to look growing up, but I think this is the way it's supposed to look, with the Quattro logo there in the single frame grille and these little accents in the front bumper. Think about everything I'm going to show you that is chrome or aluminium. What would it look like if that was all black? It would just disappear. The edge around the grille, invisible. Most people also delete the Audi logo, black that out, it disappears. This trim in the bumper, it disappears. Everything just, I think this looks so much cooler. Wheels, tires, brakes, well, invisible because it's so dark. These are sport contacts, I think. How is it so dark? It's 4:45, that's why. So sport contact 7s, very good tires. Behind that we've got upgraded brakes. This is a floating disc from 034 and EBC blue stuff brake pads. I have to say, Chris just upgraded his brakes. Not the biggest fan of it. Kind of already have some vibrations. EBC, we don't have the best experience with it, but I do really appreciate that Chris upgraded them before he got to us, because brakes are very important, especially if you have a car like this. We've got Racing Line lowering springs, V6 turbo badge, beautiful mirror. Look at that. That mirror cap is just so cool. You don't see it enough. I love it. Window surrounds as well. Little door handle trim. Super nice. Check out Chris's YouTube channel, B9034. We've got quad exhaust tailpipes, of course, for the S4. Little boot spoiler. We don't have anything over there. We have to go here because it's right-hand drive. So stock, we've got a 3-liter V6 with a twin scroll turbo, 354 horsepower. However, this is no stock S4, as you might already see. So we've got some IE upgrades for the integrated engineering upgrades for the intake system. It also has an IE Sportcat downpipe and midpipe. It's got a Wagner intercooler. It's got an upgraded fuel pump, and it's got a TTE 710 hybrid turbo with 034 software for the gearbox and the engine, stage 3 on both of those. So it's supposed to do around 600 horsepower and between 800 and 900 newton meters of torque, which is a lot more than the stock 354, of course. But we've got the Quattro. Yeah, it actually is pretty doable. I'll even go so far as to say that it's actually a lot of fun, because the car is just struggling to put the power down and squirming all over the place, which is really nice. Of course, in the dry, these cars are notoriously neutral, I would say, so they've been set up to be as safe as possible and to be able to put the power down in as many situations as possible. But when it's this wet and you've got this much power, it's actually a very cool experience. So we'll start it up. which you, there it is. You can hear the turbo whistling through the exhaust. And we'll go to dynamic. So we have the stock back box, which is a great idea, because that means that it's relatively doable. But sheepies? No sheepies. It sounds very fruity. Hope you guys can see. I think it's okay, but man, it's dark. So let's head out for a drive. We'll turn off ESC. Don't need that. And start stop also off. All right. So it's actually a very nice driving experience. This, yeah, it's a bit weird. Normally we don't really do this in this weather. Oh, that's a good sound. Normally we reschedule when this type of weather turns its head, but yeah, that was not really an option since everything was booked and Chris was basically on his way from the UK. Train was booked, hotels were booked, so yeah, it's just a matter of timing. But it's difficult to review a car in this weather because you don't really feel the limits of the car, you feel the limit of the circumstances. Anyway, so whoop, there we go. Oh. That's what I mean when I say it's a bit squirmy, and I love that. It feels like a little rally car, and I feel like a little rally driver, which is awesome. So first gear. Oh, sounds really, really good. It almost has a, I don't know, a little bit of an RB26 feel. Am I saying something weird? Sound-wise, I mean. Or a bit of a Nissan GTR. I don't know. It's a very good sound. I like it. It's also not too much. It's not too loud. The volume is good. The tone is good. We do have some pretty repetitive pops and bangs, but I'll forgive Chris for that because he doesn't really like it either, and he usually has it in individual mode. But if I do that, then I know that all the comments will be, oh, you were not in dynamic, it's not the fastest mode. So I'm going to drive it in dynamic mode. I also really love this interior, and this thing has done 92,000 miles, and I have to say it looks freaking spotless. It's in really, really good condition. And we don't really get to drive these S4s all that often. I mean, oh. Normally we, you know, I don't know, yeah, we just drive the RS4s a lot because those cars get tuned more, I think, I feel like, or those are the cars that people submit to the channel or companies have that they want us to test. But I don't really remember the last time I drove an S4 V9. Oh. So when you shift gears, that's when you get this big surge of torque, and that's when you get that squirmy wheel spinny. See, there there it went again. If I kept that throttle pinned, it would go just like that, which is cool. I like that. I think that's a good thing. It has a very good sound. I was not expecting that. I was not ready for that. This is properly well judged as well, as I said, volume wise and tone wise. Oh, so we're going to turn that one on for the Autobahn. And yeah, unfortunately this is the situation we have to deal with. and we have to be very, very aware of standing water especially. So yeah, I'll give it some beans over here where I know that the water tends to go that way, so you don't have standing water, and that is 220 already. It's quick, so 100 to 200 it does around 6.8. I think we did 7 seconds, which in these conditions, well, it was a bit drier, but it does grip, so 7 seconds, very quick actually. So Chris upgraded his turbo when his stock turbo was demolished by a sucked in O-ring, and as we all know, when something like that happens, that means that the tuning gods are telling you to upgrade. And I have to say, it's pretty damn nice. I mean, I just touched the brake pedal. I don't know if you guys can hear that, but it's starting to vibrate, and it's not that big of an issue. It's just it means that the brakes are getting hot really quickly because I haven't really done any serious braking. So yeah, when they start vibrating that quickly, it's not really great. Oh, what a nice car. It's also super, like, the drivability is really good. You do get a big hit of torque on the upshifts, which means that you know, when I just showed you, when you give it a full enchilada in second or third gear or first gear, and you shift gears, you get this like big bump, shift and bump in torque, which is purely software based, because that is the launch control shift basically happening at every shift above 5,500 RPM. I think Chris said. So you do have to be a bit wary of that, especially in this weather. But I can imagine in the dry, you know, you don't have that issue. Yeah, so I can't really safely do anything more than this. I mean, if I hit standing water at like 250, I'm gone. So yeah, it's a shame, because this thing will crack 300 kilometers an hour pretty easily. Oh, it's a quick car, this. Wow, it runs well. I like it. It feels like a little Nissan GTR sedan, sort of. I don't know why. It has a very distinct sound. I don't know if you guys actually can see anything because it's very dark now. So yeah, I think I'm just going to end it here. Unfortunately, sometimes shit happens. It really doesn't happen to us ever. So I think that's also a good thing. That you guys don't really see videos like this on our channel. But fun to do. Quattro weather. Chris and Katrina, thank you so much for coming all the way from the UK to let us have a go in your car. Really appreciate it. Thank you for your continued support. I hope you enjoyed watching your car on our channel. Always welcome to come back if you have a cool car. And to you guys, if you want to submit your own car like Chris did and let us test it on the Autobahn, you can send an email to the address on screen right now. Send us a couple of pics and some info, and maybe your car will be next. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. You can subscribe by clicking the big button in the middle. Check out this video, this playlist, and we'll see you at the next one. Bye.